Good morning. This is Bill from Auto Europe in Naples on a rather nice, Florida morning for a impending summer. It's not too humid. The birds are singing. There's some roosters crowing down there, but they're not too close or menacing. And I have this 2009 Mercedes-Benz CLS-550. Now this is of course the official car of all Eastern Bloc gangsters, and it's properly menacing to look at. Now, okay, well maybe that's a bit of a stretch, but not a huge stretch. I mean, to some extent, if you show up in this thing, you're either going to be in a Adidas tracksuit or some sort of very expensive looking three-piece thing. I guess I'd put it to you this way. I mean, if this car is in a movie, if it's one of the ancillary vehicles driving around, it's probably not going to be driven by the good guy. I mean, let's face it, it's a sinister looking car. And it's beautifully styled by Mercedes. It was a bit of a departure for Mercedes-Benz. You have to give them credit for this thing. I mean, sometimes Mercedes, when they try to get sporty or beautiful, it ends up looking like you put a mini skirt on a tiger tank. And in this case, they really succeeded. You could almost call it a bit of a German Jaguar. It's got this high belt line, this low, incredibly beautiful curved roof line, this elongated front end, this sort of tapered off, rump end on it, and it's just gorgeous to look at. It's almost like you took an E-Class and stretched it, and it worked out really, really well. You can see the big trapezoidal twice pipes down there, the CLS-550 badging. 09 saw a little bit of a facelift on this car, not too radical. They gave it new wheels that look pretty good. Forgive the tree there. They gave it a set of nice looking rear view mirrors, very stylish looking grille, and otherwise just sort of freshened it up a bit. And what an attractive piece. I mean, it sits somewhere between the E-Class and the S-Class in terms of pricing and stature. Look at those big xenon headlamps, star in the grille. Very sporty. They also market it as a coupe, which seems quite strange because it does have four doors, but it does have a coupe-like back seat with proper low-slung, crappy headroom to boot, and otherwise, does emulate a lot of coupe features. But you go to their website, at least during these years when this one was built, and look at these birds. They are pissed off and fighting each other. They are angry. Hopefully they don't come this way. Anyway, so they marketed it as a coupe, which, is questionable and still probably do today. It also had some imitation, like Volkswagen came out with the CC, which frankly was a pretty crappy imitation, and BMW came out with some sort of sport active thing that, looks a bit like it. And of course, imitation is the sincerest form of flattery. So really, really gorgeous styling on this car, and we'll get into all that in a minute. I mean, if you want an E-Class and you really don't need to put 6-footers in the back, you should really consider one of these things because it really just makes an impact when you show up. Now, because it is based on the E-Class, you get this enormous trunk, which is quite nice. Plenty of room in there for whatever you want. You're not going to be wanting in the trunk department. A little bit shallow, but still fine. You get suitcases in there, maybe a body or two. If you have any infants or pooches or wiener dogs, they can fit back here. Everything just nice. Also has a power trunk if you're one of these guys who's just a little bit too lazy to pull down your own trunk. I absolutely love the way the chrome and the nomenclature back there contrasts with the black paint. Black is such a fantastic color on these cars. You see it also has the little beepers in the bumper. That swooping belt line. Have a look under the hood before we get inside. God, it is so mercifully quiet out here. There's no construction noises going on, no diesel trucks idling at Porsche. We had a water leak in the back, so I'm out front today because it's all torn up back there. And I thought it was going to be a nightmare, but so far so good. Okay, under here is the 5.5 liter 380 some horsepower engine that came out in 2007 and was a great upgrade for the Mercedes V8. It took an already fantastic bulletproof motor and just made it that much more horsepowery and torquey. I think you got like 391 pound-feet of torque, which is enough to, you know, pull out a tree stump if you need to. Now this is a local 36,000 mile car, so you can see it's all perfect in there. There's no northern salty crap. Everything looks really, really good. Also been garaged, so you don't have any crust on the headlights. This is just an absolute showpiece as far as an 09 model would go. Again, terrific engine in this car, made into a 7-speed automatic that's manumatic, meaning you can shift it yourself if you want to. But, you know, having 7 speed, sometimes you need to dump 1 or 2 before you get the proper gear. So you're probably better off just leaving it in drive and letting it do its own thing. It's, you know, pretty good at selecting the gear you might want. Anyway, everything nice under there, very proper, very lovely, and what you want to see. God, what a good-looking grille. Of course, the Mercedes star, domination on land, sea, and air, guiding the way. Nice, scary German logo. Fresh rubber on those very, what are they, 18s? I think they're 18s. Yeah, 18-inch twin-spoke alloys. They were new for 09, and it's a nice update on the car. You also get those pickle fork rear-view mirrors. But, I mean, look at the window. Look at the greenhouse on this car. I mean, it is so short and so angular and curved and cool. It's just really neat to see a Mercedes that's all about form over function. Okay, in the back seat, you've got, you know, a little bit of room for your Canadians. Not a ton, but a little bit. Beautiful perforated leather. I know I get crabbed at about this a lot, but it really does look like nobody really sat back there. And frankly, I don't blame them, because it just isn't the most comfortable place to be. A couple of teenagers would be fine. Obviously, your Canadians will be okay back there, but if you get a couple of 6-footers and you stuff them back there, they're going to be really pissed off at you. Their head's going to hit that roof liner. I love the little wooden trays here. You've got a nice place to put a 9mm and some spare ammo. Up here, another one where it's a cup holder. You only get one, so they're going to fight over it. Nah, there must be one in here. Yeah, there is. So, okay, so you have 3 cup holders, so your backseat passengers are going to be just fine in that department. Another spot there for a little compact semi-auto of some type. You also get these pockets, and as people have corrected me lately, this is not vents to keep your knees cool. It actually is intake for the ventilated seats. I definitely should have known that intuitively, but you know, sometimes you run into problems. You have rear side impact airbags, nice. I like the contrasting black and beige. Cool little genuine ashtrays, which is good if you're an Eastern European gangster. You're definitely still smoking. Another place to put little bits of packages and whatnot, whatever you need, and everything lovely. And again, frameless glass, very, very cool. And look at that slit of a window. I mean, this thing's a bit like driving a, you know, pillbox from World War II, although the visibility isn't as bad as you'd think. Now, it does have keyless go, so with the key in my pocket, I can lock it by pressing the button and open it by pulling the handle, which is a nice feature. Okay, front door panel, lovely, all very standard stuff. Mercedes 52-way power seats with memory, your ovoid window switch that's a carryover from the E-Class, as is the trunk button down there and the mirror switch, and lovely little end cap of chrome. That's a Mercedes styling cue that's gone back to, you know, decades. Lovely chrome entry sills, incredibly comfortable sport seats. Not too sporty, but sporty enough. Also, they're ventilated and heated, which is quite nice. So, let's hop in this thing before the sun comes out and ruins everything. Okay, very, very nice place to sit. You can see we've got leather everywhere, including the dashboard. You know, that's part of the upgrade from the standard E-Class and why it cost about 20 or 30 grand more. Foot on the brake, tap this start-stop button, and the car's going to fire right to life, which is lovely. There's the command screen, and we got some music going. Get into that in a second. Okay, so what you've got is this very attractive beige 3-pronged steering wheel that's quite nice. This is not from the E-Class. This is a CLS thing only. It's got a power column and out, telescoping, tilt, all that. You've got some automatic headlamps over there, some lovely round vents. You know, they're a little bit finicky. Again, this is all CLS only stuff, so they didn't make it in bulk the way they did the E-Class. This thing had much more limited production, but they, they work fine. You've got these sort of fascinating gauges that might be a little bit busy, but are otherwise attractive to look at. Got kind of a meshy aluminum thing behind the white face. You've got a driver information center in the middle of the speedometer. You've got your little digital odo down there showing you were in park and comfort mode. You got a clock, analog clock over to the left. They did bring over these things that I've never quite liked, these little bar graph deals for the temperature and the fuel. I just feel they could have made those a little bit more visible, but it's fine. You get your cruise control here. You can scroll through the different stuff that you can display in the driver information center, and everyone's going to be happy with this. You also have a little voice control stalk, so if you want to, tell it to change the radio station or tune the nav, it's pretty easy to do with that. Again, beautiful leather covering the dash, very befitting of the upmarket position this thing has in the Mercedes lineup. I remember when I first saw one of these, when it was rolling down the road, I thought, oh my God, that is the most attractive car I have ever seen. I couldn't believe that Mercedes had made something so stylistic that, just was very, again, all form over function. It just isn't their style. Up here is the Parktronic thing. This has a row of LEDs that's going to show up if you're getting close to something in the front. There's also a little pod. I don't know if you can see it in the, it looks too dim, but there's one hanging off the red line, sorry, off the headliner that you can see if you're backing up. You've got this incredible expanse of hand-rubbed wood going all the way across the dashboard, which is gorgeous. Very, very pretty. The climate control built into that. This was an upgraded command unit, cockpit management and data system for 2009. It went to a hard drive type nav system and radio system and that sort of thing. You have an in-dash changer. No more big clunky crap in the glove box, so that's pleasant. It does give you a built-in Bluetooth and of course your navigation, your radio, and I think there's satellite radio in there. Let's check. Yeah, satellite radio, disk, memory card, music. One day I'll learn what all that crap is, but for the moment I really don't care. Let's see what's on the radio. AM, we don't want that. Channel 1, a weather band, that's always fun. 95.3, let's see what we got. There's the phone going. Simple Minds, not a bad song, but let's change it. So I'm going to hit the voice command. 94.5. Look at that. So it understands me. Very often voice command really screws me over. Down here you've got your heated and cool seats, driver and passenger. That does the rear windscreen. You can see it. Sunscreen. You can see it coming up there. This will lower the rear headrests if they're up. You got a hazard button. You got your airbag off for the passenger indicator, your lock and unlock. Your electronic stability program, all very nice. Traction control. Again, a bona fide ashtray, perfect for the Euro Gangster. Beautiful leather shifter mechanism. Actually, a gorgeous, lovely feel to it. Also with the beautiful chrome keyless go button there. Comfort and sport setting. Maybe it's comfort and standard, whatever. We're going to leave it in comfort. PRNDL indicator. Now down here, this will raise the aromatic suspension in the vehicle. So if you need a little bit more ride height, you press this guy. There you can see vehicle rising. I'm not going to get out and show you because it does it. Trust me, it goes up and, oh, for the love of God, all right. Get out and show you. It's just, oh God, I'm too old for this. All right, so now all of a sudden we've got tons of room in the wheel well. If you need to, again, get over a rival gangster's body, you've shot him in the alleyway, it's the only way out, and you don't want to scuff up the front of your bumper, so that'll give you the right height to do that. Put that back down and it gets to a normal height. Next to that is the Aromatic Control. I click once, I'm in comfort mode. Twice, I'm in sport 1. 3 times, and I'm in Sport 2. Now, you might think Sport 2 is going to jar your spine or, make you feel miserable. Well, it really won't. I mean, it's like choosing a setting between too soft, pretty comfortable, and also pretty comfortable. So I just leave it in Sport 2. It feels sportier, and the ride is quite plush and soft, so I'm not too worried about that. Over here, that little guy will turn off your parking sensors if they're driving you nuts in a drive-thru or Dunkin' Donuts or something. This thing, yeah, they can lift up the cup holders if you need a little bit more space for your latte. Push them to get them back down. Nice little place here to put, I don't know, again, compact 9mm. What the hell is that? I don't know what's down there. Stuff. That's Mercedes-Benz Embrace. It's sort of their version of OnStar if you need information or service. Also works with that SOS button. So you press that and some stern German woman is going to say, this better be worth you bothering me. Over here you got a glove box with a couple of shelves. Another good spot for more 9mm or even a big revolver going there. No problem. Let's go for a spin. You got home link as well, self-dimming mirror, big sunroof up there, all the stuff you'd expect in a luxury car. Another thing Mercedes-Benz has mastered, I don't know why the hell I'm going this way, this is a horrible way to go, but anyway, another thing Mercedes-Benz has mastered is the art of making that big, torquey, growly V8 seem, very quiet at speed, subdued. You get a little bit of a perfect rumble so that it's there, but it really doesn't show its face until you bury the throttle. We up to temperature? Yeah, pretty much. You get great view out the heavily raked one. I mean, look at the rake on that A-pillar. I mean, that is cool. But you get good view at the front. The back, okay, visibility isn't terrific, but it's adequate. A little wheel spin. Now listen to that. Wow. Yeah, I mean, what an upgrade that 5.5 was in this car. In 06, you could get it with the 500, which was fine. But that 80 horsepower and the extra torque really made it work. I want to say 0 to 60 in this thing is 4.7 seconds, which is, pretty friggin' epically fast for a, daily cruising sedan that's super sedate on the highway and, nice to drive to Whole Foods to buy one of those organic chickens they charge too much for. Steering is nice, nimble, rack and pinion. They did away with the that super crazy electronic brake control. Very, very nice. So the brakes have beautiful modulation, nice feel. The steering, just lovely. You want to caress the steering wheel. The suspension. Man, this is just a beautiful car to drive, to look at, to ride in, and to tool around town. And of course, if you want to go on a, rival gang war escapade, it's the correct car to show up in. So there it is. Let's give this GT a run for his money. Yeah, the hell with it. 2009 Mercedes-Benz CLS 550 Coupe. I'm making air quotes. 36,000 miles, mint, jet black outside, lovely cream beige inside. This thing's gorgeous. Gorgeous. It was a local Aston Martin trade, so obviously the guy who bought it is probably able to afford maintenance. You have an interest, give us a call. Oh God, look at this, Sons of Anarchy on a trike. Be careful, they'll hit you with a lead pipe and run a train on your girlfriend. Anyway, give us a call, 239-298-8000, on the web at aenaples.com. Thank you so much for having a look. We appreciate it. We'll see you with the next one. Take care.